Darren here, and I am wearing the North Face Mcmurdo 2 Parka. So I am very picky, and it took me forever to decide on a jacket, mostly because my main issue with a lot of parkas is the pockets, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. With typical parkas, you've got sometimes a pocket up here, and almost always pockets down here. Problem pockets down here, it's a really awkward angle. It's not like a regular jacket where the pockets are mid-height and you sit in, keep your hands warm, and it's nice and cozy. Pockets are all the way down here, and it might not seem like a big deal, but when you go to try and use them and get hands in there, and they're kind of small, it's just awkward as heck and not practical. So then I was looking for jackets that had a top pocket that wasn't awkward, but most of the top pockets are too darn high, and you got your arms like this, which is also not practical or comfortable. So the North Face Mcmurdo 2, it doesn't have high rear pockets, but the top pockets are low enough that it's pretty darn cozy to keep your hands in there. I am perfectly happy with it. It's, you know, there's a couple of the jackets where literally there's maybe just another inch or two higher, and it makes it that awkward angle. And it might seem like a nitpick, but believe me, it makes a huge difference. So that was a huge win for this jacket. The other thing is the fill. It's 550 down, and as you can see, it's got a nice amount of it. A lot of other jackets, you know, you don't see any puff to them. The 550, 650, 750, all those downfill notifications or tags, they don't tell you how much of it is in the jacket. So some jackets, higher end jackets, will tell you how many grams of fill are in, which is great. But really, if you just feel how full it is, and that'll give you an idea how warm it's going to be. So this jacket is very warm, and as you can see, we just did a little hike up. It was only maybe a 5 or 10 minute steep hike, and now we've been walking along. After that steep element, I had to keep this open. I took this off for a minute because I was too darn warm. So that's great for the warmth of the jacket, but it's a downside because there's not a lot of venting. There's no zippered up underarms to release some excess heat. The other issue, I'll put my gloves on because my hands are getting a little bit chilly, is that they made it nice and removable for the hat and the fur, both removable. Sounds good, I like options like that. However, the fur is just buttons, and there's this gap that is created right here. And if there's wind blowing at you, it goes right to your ears, which is really annoying. I wish they would have made a full zipper to make a perfect seal. Not a perfect seal, but at least a seal that doesn't have a gap there. And believe me, I tried adjusting every which way. I always feel wind blowing into my ears. Now, the helmet is pretty okay, and I don't really feel any penetration. It's a zipper that goes along the neckline, it's maybe 6 inches, and then another button underneath this little cuff here. So it goes in there, and it conceals the button. So that's pretty good. Otherwise, I wish the snorkel would come on just a little bit more. It's, you know, there's a lot of big snorkel jackets now where literally you can be a full Kenny like this. This one's kind of in between. It's a good amount, but I don't like that it leaves this cut here. It's great for if you need to do a lot of work outside, but if you're really just trying to stand around and keep warm, it'd be nice if it filled that gap up. But again, it might come down to your personal preference. I also wish they would have put in some little elastic to help seal this area, but you do have the ability to Velcro it shut, and I haven't really seen an issue. It's just cozier to have that extra little bit of elastic or something soft to seal the arm up. The other thing, there's a crease right here where they mend together, I guess, the different sections of insulation, and if I'm not wearing anything else under this, just a t-shirt, I do feel a cold line there. But again, I was wearing a t-shirt, so there's really nothing else touching that. So that's another good point, is that I could put this on in just a t-shirt and it can handle pretty chilly weather even with just that. Right now I've just got on this one warmth layer that's a full line, and I am too warm on this hike. So and right now I think it's about 20 or 25 degrees Fahrenheit out. So pretty chilly, but if you're being active like on a hike, this is actually too warm for that. And pocket wise, I wish I would have put another pocket inside. This one, Chuck, I'm doing a review here. Yeah, the Chuck is down there getting in the way. He's probably getting chili balls, although he doesn't have balls. So there's only one pocket inside here. Nitpick, it's on the outside of the insulation. So if you want to keep something warm in there, it's not on the insulation side, it's on the outside. Same goes for the hand warmer pockets. All of them do not have insulation on the outside, the insulation's underneath. So despite that, as long as you have gloves on, they do a really good job of keeping your hands warm. If you don't have gloves, might get pretty chilly. Dog, you running away? No, he's good. So same with all these pockets, the insulation is still on the body side, not on the outside. A neat little feature which I'm probably never going to use is there's a hidden, I believe it's called a Gator. This is not part of the jacket right here. This I just added because it helps. But behind your head, take off my hat to get to it. That's pretty neat, but it's a little too tight for me. It's a little uncomfortable. So it's great to have here, especially if you're just like really cold. You don't have a hat, you don't have a balaclava or anything like that. It's pretty cool that this is built right in. I just wish it was maybe more elastic so it doesn't pull out of my face really tight, or at least somewhat adjustable. But it is cool that they have it there, so it's nice to have. But for me personally, a little too tight. I probably won't get much use out of it. Other than that, I've been pretty darn happy with it. I got it for a good deal, under 300 bucks, and I've seen a lot of people compare them to way more expensive jackets in terms of warmth. Obviously, different jackets have different, features, specifications. This one really had all the things that I wanted. Not everything I wanted, I should say, but it had the main things, which is, the comfortable pockets to just relax and have your arms in, keep warm, and overall warmth. And it's also, for the most part, waterproof, although I am going to put a coating of the wax stuff or weather waterproofing just to get the water to beat off even more. So that's pretty much it for the North Face Mcmurdo 2. One thing I forgot, you do get cinches on the bottom, and also there's a cinch hidden inside, I believe it's this pocket or the other pocket, to cinch up the midline. So that's also nice, but I haven't touched it because I adjusted it when I first got it, and I'm happy with it as it is. And just in terms of sizing, this is the small. I'm 5'9", about 160 pounds. I love the fit. I like to have a fit that's just a tiny bit bigger than snug. So I don't like a whole lot of extra room, but with the small, you do get a lot of extra room in the chest. But for my frame, the waistline, it's not pulling on me. It's just enough space that I can fit other layers underneath. So love the sizing on it. I'm Darren. This is the North Face Mcmurdo 2. I love reviewing, and if you have a product or service you would like reviewed, get in touch and I will give it the full run through.